2022, Project E20 now in its third season of competition. Last year at the Grand Finals in Bahrain in late December, we found that Oscar Pelmel from France became our inaugural Grand Finals e-kart racing champion, ahead of Hannes Morin and Theo Kakati. But new for 2022, we've upped the stakes here at Rotax, because first of all, it's not just one class, it's two. We have juniors and seniors running alongside each other. You're running on the same Sodi Sigma DD2 chassis with front and rear brakes, and also have the exact identical powertrains. However, through careful mapping through the software on the control units on these Project E20s, you can actually make it a little bit more different. However, there is one individual that you know and that I know that we need to have a chat to. So first of all, I'm going to take a little wander in the tent here. And before I forget, we've gone from Bahrain to continental Europe because we're at Karting Genk, the home of champions, and one man who is a race winner on this car, Mr. Spiezia.
How's it going?
Good to see you, buddy. Now, we had a long chat over in Bahrain. Firstly, it's good to be back on these things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to start the season as always. And looking forward to the races tomorrow. We got juniors on the grid too, so really happy to see the youngsters getting in the E20, and hopefully we'll find an electric Renegade in the mix somewhere.
And before I forget, happy Earth Day.
Thank you.
So, of course, this is all about sustainability within motorsport. Ellis is a passive activist with regards to this, running in the ERA Championship, an all brand new Formula 4 fully electric car. And we have to say a big thank you to Beth Giorgio from ERA herself, who actually runs the championship, who's done this initiative with the Mitsubishi, and you've already had a go in that car at Zolder. Obviously, Richard Morris from Racing Pride has had a go as well, and he's running in Revolution Sports Cars this year. What was his first impressions of the ERA car when he got the chance to test it and met up with you and the likes of Cammy Sturch and the whole team at ERA?
Yeah, I think he really thought that it was quite an experience. It's something really different, and getting used to the regen, he said, was sort of much different than a normal race car. So yeah, having that extra element, especially in a junior series like that, I think learning those skills early on in your career is just a benefit. You know, it's something that we don't see in normal combustion junior series. So yeah, having that element of strategy and things like that, I think is really beneficial to young drivers developing.
Now, I understand that you're going to be going into your third season of DEKM this year. Now, one of the benefits about the Project E20 is that we're part of the tour here at the Euro Trophy. One of the good things about this is that there's an incentive, not just for the champion and the vice champion, because they get tickets to the Grand Finals in Portimao this year, but also the winner of each race weekend gets a free entry to one of the Project E20 tour events happening around, and you were a big part of that last year alongside with Daryl Smith and Steve Chapman. Just tell people out there what the E20 tour is like when you're showing people this technology for the very first time and they get in behind the wheel. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting a chance actually behind the wheel of this thing on Monday after the dust is all settled and the charges all fizzled away into the background. What would you say to anyone that decides, well, I run internal combustion, but I want to try this new thing that everyone's talking about? It's the new kid on the block, so to speak.
Yeah, I think for me, it's everyone just has to give it a go. You know, what we've seen with when we did the sort of demo runs last year as the Rotax Rock Tour, it was really just getting people in the kart was the hard part, but it was even harder to get them out once they drove it. So having that sort of experience for them is really important, because we can talk about it all we want. We can, you know, give them the spec sheet, but it's really just an experience to drive, and it's something that's so new that it just needs to be out there. And I think we did that last year, and we'll be able to go around some more this year. Got events in Sweden and Denmark as races now instead of just demo days.
Yes.
So really looking forward to that. And yeah, I think the prizes are great. And why wouldn't you be part of something new like this?
And also, there was a bit of a breaking news announcement earlier on this week. The Rotax Max International Trophy, based at Le Mans this year, 26th to the 30th of July. Project E20 Senior hits the grid. And what's more, Ellis, a ticket for the Grand Finals up for grabs. I mean, it just goes to show that everyone is starting to, I wouldn't say jump on the bandwagon, but they're becoming a lot more accepting about how electric propulsion is a future within motorsport. Of course, there are other alternative technologies, fuel cell with hydrogen power, sustainable fuels now with regards to internal combustion engines, hopefully making that switch. I mean, Porsche making a 75 million euro investment to run the Porsche supercars on fully sustainable fuel. The World Endurance Championship with Total Energies fully sustainable fuel through grape residues off of wineries. I mean, the technologies out there are so diverse, it really means that motorsport sustainability for the future, along with electric, is in a very good place right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me at least, what we've seen is even here, I think karting paddocks are probably the most aggressive group of racers you'll find when it comes to being reluctant to new technology. But as much as people say that they don't like the electric, when we're out there for our practice sessions, they're all watching and timing. So even when the people say they're not watching, they still are. And when they see the times sort of climb down as the development goes on, we've seen some great developments with the power modes this year. We're running on a bit higher power for practice and qualifying, and times are quick. And once the battery technology gets better and better, they'll just get smaller. So it's only a matter of time till we're in that range of the top level in lap times.
You know what I sort of, and this is not an assumption, this is not a premonition, this is what I would like to see, is that you have a battery cell pack the same size as the Rotax Max Evo engine on your right hand side, as opposed to these big battery packs that you have at the moment. About 20% less than the first ever generation electric kart from Rotax, which was the Project Thunder. And I came across that kart back in 2018 in Austria. But fastest in that final practice session ahead of quali, how are you feeling?
Really good. I think it's the best we could have asked for, on doing some setup work, lots of mechanicking solo for the first few days, and mechanics here now, and we sort of got that extra 10% in. So looking forward to quali. I'm sure it's going to be a bit of a cluster having 18 karts out, both on different speeds. So it'll be an interesting session, but I think get the positioning right, get the pressures right, we should be on a good track.
Have a good one, mate. So before I forget, last passing thought, of course, you have to follow this man, hashtag the Electric Renegade, Elysium Racing on Instagram and also on Facebook. But one of the other things that really needs to be paramount to you people out there, if you want to have an opportunity at having a go in one of these karts, you can actually come to the second round and the third round of the Rotax Max Euro Trophy this year. So that will be the last weekend of May at Val d'Argenton in France, and then also Karting Genk in Marienburg in the second weekend of July. Believe you me, you want to give it a try, you better give it a try now before things really heat up with Project E20.